It's now time for Energy Insights, where you get an inside view and local perspectives of all the oil and gas progress going on in the Mid-Ohio Valley. This program is being brought to you by the Southeastern Ohio Oil and Gas Association and can be heard every Saturday at 9 a.m. on local radio WMOA AM 1490 and ESPN radio WJAW FM 100.9 and AM 630. It's now time for the show. Here's Johnny Wharf, your local host.
Good morning and welcome to another edition of Energy Insights. Don Huck from Artex Oil is our guest, as he was last week, and we started into the protection of fresh water, and I think we got to the initial stages of it. Maybe you can continue the thought, maybe just a quick recap of what we talked about last week, and then what the next step would be, from the oil and gas perspective.
Sure. As we talked about before, we set our surface casing string through our fresh water that we've identified. We cement it back to the surface. There is a total protection there and isolation from the rest of the well. The next phase of the construction is you go down, and by regulatory means, we go down and set other strings of pipe. An intermediate casing string is what's required next. That string of casing is also brought back to the surface as far as cement. So you end up with two cement sheaths around two steel casings that isolate the rest of the well from our fresh water.
In the oil and gas industry in the area, obviously it's come to the forefront of people's minds with all the activity, but what a lot of people don't realize is that these regulations and all of this has been going on for hundreds of years.
Well, the regulatory scheme in Ohio for oil and gas has been around since the 1960s. Based on some of the previous oil booms and that sort of thing, it was identified there needed to be a regulatory scheme in place to where everybody was consistent in how things were done and how the environment and the public were protected.
Talk a little bit about the completion of these wells then as you go forward.
Sure. Once the intermediate casing is set, then the rest of the well is drilled. There's a production casing set that'll be cemented up and to isolate the production zone from the rest of the well. This is all about environmental protection, about pressure isolation, and that sort of thing.
All right. Don Huck is our guest. He's with Artex Oil Company, and this is a two-part series per Energy Insights. And again, a little bit as the industry falls in where we are today, have the regulations been tightened on you guys, or have they been loosened up, or where are we in that?
Sure. The evolution of the regulatory scheme, it tends to be more, not less. And all that's about protection of the environment and the public and proper well construction. So, it's tightened over the years. New technology comes along, new formations are drilled, new pressures are encountered. So everything tries, from a regulatory standpoint, try to keep everything up to date with that.
And then Artex Oil Company, lastly, this is a company that I'm familiar with, good advertiser on our radio station. They support a lot of the things we do in the community, our Christmas zoo and the photo IDs that we do for kids during the summer. And so this is a business that is central here and then with different other operations.
Yes, Artex Oil Company's been around since 1960, and all the employees that work at Artex are all from southeastern Ohio. Most of us are petroleum engineers that graduated from Marietta College. But as we go forward, we've been here for a long time and we'll continue to be here. Our office is out on 821, easy to find off the interstate.
All right, and then Gene Huck, we've talked to before as well. It's safe to say you're the younger, better looking of the...
Well, I'll not get too far into that because he is bigger than I am, but yeah, he is my older brother.
All right, I fall in the same category on my end, so we'll leave it at that. Energy Insights on a Saturday morning brought to you by the Southeastern Ohio Oil and Gas Association. You can catch this program and learn about oil and gas in our area, and right here on AM 1490, FM 100.9, and AM 630 every Saturday morning at 9 a.m.
Thank you for listening to Energy Insights, brought to you by the Southeastern Ohio Oil and Gas Association. Tune in every Saturday at 9 a.m. on WMOA and ESPN Radio WJAW as Johnny Wharf brings you your local and inside perspectives of the oil and gas progress going on in the Mid-Ohio Valley.